Hello there, and welcome to Season 2 of the Minecraft Archive. This is Episode 2, and I am here just on top of the building that we slept in at the end of Episode 1 to turn night into day. And I have packed up my stuff, and I am scouting out where I'm going to head next, and it appears to be that awesome-looking mountain biome over there. But before we leave, I wanted to note something. I meant to show this in my first episode, and you guys probably noticed while I had my inventory up, but I have a new Minecraft skin. Not using the boring old default Minecraft skin that I used all throughout Season 1 of the Minecraft Archive. I've got this guy here that looks a little bit like me. I designed this skin in Photoshop, and I even tried to give my guy a little soul patch like I have in real life. You guys now know what I look like from my recent vlog post. I gave myself a creeper t-shirt because I guess I'm a Minecraft fanboy, and I have holes in my jeans because I guess that's in style in the Minecraft world. But anyways, before we leave, my food level is getting a little low. As you can see, I only have my food bar about halfway full, so I'm going to eat. Oh yeah, you now have to hold in the right click to be able to eat a piece of meat, and I'm just going to eat a couple of these here so that I can fill up my food bar. There we go. So that'll allow me to sprint a while longer before it gets depleted. And I took that cobblestone down that I used to block up the doorway, and I believe we have, yep, everything. We are ready to go. Alright, so I'm going to take off sprinting and not sprint very long. And yes, that looks absolutely amazing. These are the kind of improvements that Notch and the gang has made in Beta 1.8, and it looks very impressive. And I do believe this may be a permanent home. I would love to build an entire city or a series of buildings up on top of that mountain. Ooh, lots of good ideas. So let's see if we can climb up there. Oh yeah, we even have caves over here. It would take forever to explore the inside of this place. It is very big. Lots of coal up there if I run out. Coal down here. Coal over there. But our goal for this episode is just simply to pick out the final location for our city that we plan to build. Also, just like this season, just like the previous season, I'm going to have you guys name stuff for me. So, for example, the city, I would love for you guys to give it a name. So start thinking of a good name for the city. It's going to have, a large tower. We're going to build a cactus farm, a wheat farm, all kinds of buildings that will actually serve a purpose. I don't know if I'll build another skyscraper. We'll wait and see, but that last one took far too long to make. Alright. But in this episode, we're going to, like I say, pick out a permanent location for the city, and we are going to build ourselves our very first house. So climb up here. And I'll have to build a nice transportation system to easily get up and down this massive mountain, because I certainly don't want to have to climb up it like this each time. And there we go. We're almost to the top. I think I can see the village just barely in the distance over there. And one thing that I really like that they added in Beta 1.8, or at least in the pre-release, are these grassy fields, and you can really get a good view of this one here. It looks very neat. A lot of little ponds and lakes in there. And there's the village. Very scenic up here. And the clouds now are above all the land, so we don't have to worry about clouds traveling through buildings. And it looks like the sun is setting, so let's go ahead and get our bed out. And it's not quite night yet, but we've got that there. And we just need to pick out a nice flat spot for our first house, and we're going to need plenty of wood. I don't see too many trees up here, so I might have to head back down to chop down some more trees. And there we go. Daytime yet again. So I'm going to start chopping down trees up here. and lay out the foundation of our very first home. Oh, I don't think we're going to have any problems finding trees. That looks like a very large forest over there. Let's see if we can't get down there. What I could really use right now is another sword so I could start collecting some meat from all these animals up here. Don't want to forget this. Ah, there we go. So as you can see, chickens now drop raw chicken, and eventually we'll throw all that in a furnace. One thing that is very nice in Beta 1.8 is that meat now stacks. It was very annoying before carrying a lot of meat in your inventory because it filled it up very quickly. Got a nice little lake down there. Okay. I'd like to go down there, but I'm afraid I won't be able to get back up, at least not here. I need to find a good path to get up and down this mountain into that forest so I can chop down all those trees. Okay, so here is a large forest. So I'm going to spend some time and I'm just going to chop down tons of trees, and then I'm going to make my way back up the mountain and build our very first home. So since chopping down trees isn't terribly exciting, I will go ahead and skip this part. Alright, I have collected about 70 blocks of wood. I've got a stack of cobblestone here, and I took that one piece of iron I found from the dungeon and I made myself an iron shovel. Just over there in the distance is the village that I stayed in the first night. I'm up here in the mountains, and all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this iron shovel and I'm just going to flatten out this piece of land right here a little bit more. This will allow me to build a decent sized house on a nice flat surface. So let's go ahead and speed this up. Okay, now that I have that land all flattened out, the next step is to lay out the foundation of the building. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of draw the rough layout of the outline of our first home. And I'm just going to do this with cobblestone. One of my problems in the first season of the Minecraft Archive was that I went a little smooth stone crazy. I used smooth stone everywhere. In the Enterprise, in the lock. I used it to build the tower. Everything seemed to be made out of smooth stone. So I'm going to try to do a better job in this season at mixing up my materials a bit more. And the other thing I did in Season 1 was I rarely showed you guys me actually building. I always showed stuff when I was all done with projects, but you didn't really get to see the process that I used to build something. And I know like the skyscraper wouldn't have been horribly interesting, but to at least have seen part of it, I think you guys would have liked that. I've read several comments of people asking to see more of the process of building, so that's what I'm going to try to do a little better job in this season. Sometimes I don't get things exactly the way I want them the first time, and I'm sure you guys understand that, but I'll at least give it my best effort. And so now I'm going to lay down the floor inside the building, and I learned this little trick from the walks. It looks really nice when you outline a room with wood. And then you can actually use wooden planks or wool in the middle, and that looks very nice. And since I don't have much wool because I just started this world, I'm going to have to use wooden planks. And there we go. So this will be the base of our house. And now I'm going to build some columns. And let's see how much. Okay, we need 2 more pieces of cobblestone, and I'll show you why in just a second. So let's steal some from over here. This mountain has plenty of stone to spare. And the reason we needed that is we need to be able to make a furnace. And let's set this here. And I'm sure the change of the, I'm sure the look of this house will change quite a bit over time, actually. Place that here, and already you can see it's changing as I go. Okay, and the reason I did that is I want to take the sand and turn it into glass so I can make some very nice scenic windows to look out into this field and be able to look at that village. That'll be nice and neat. Okay. We need a... Okay, actually we need more wooden planks. And I thought I had enough wood for this project and stone, but already I'm running out. And let's make a couple doors. I try to always make things like walkways, doorways, all that at least 2 blocks wide, because it gets very annoying when you get caught going through a doorway. And actually I'll need to redo that once I actually have a archway, because those doors look goofy the way they are now. One thing I've really got to get used to watching is my food, and now that I have a furnace, I can cook some of those raw pork chops. Okay, so this door's messed up. And there we go. Make some nice wooden steps going up to the doorway. Oh, got a little bit of a lag spike there. Hopefully you guys have noticed one thing, is that my frame rate is much better than it was back in the first season of the Minecraft Archive, and I have actually purchased Bandicam as my new recording software. It is much better in my opinion than Fraps, at least on my computer. I get a much better frame rate, much less lag, and I am really liking it. Hopefully the quality is still just as good as Fraps. But I haven't seen any decrease in the quality. Okay, so this glass is going to take a while to make, but once it gets all finished, we're just going to place it all around the house, just like so. And I need to lay this bed somewhere. This looks like a nice, cozy spot back here. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to need a lot more glass, quite a bit more cobblestone, because I'm going to use cobblestone to connect the top of the pillars to each other, and then we'll build a wooden roof. And building a roof in Minecraft is one of the more complicated things. The villages have some really good examples on how to build a roof. I tend to use a little different style, and I'll try to show it to you guys here. First thing is first, I just take normal wooden blocks and I connect all those pillars. Basically, I just do an outline of the building. Alright, once that is all finished, I then take wooden slabs and I just do a second outline of the building. And there we go, all finished. Okay, so for the next part, we have wooden slabs on the outside. We have just wooden blocks here above doing the outline around the house. Now we're going to do another set of slabs as this next inner row. Okay, now that that inner row of slabs is finished, we're going to switch back to just wooden planks. And what I typically do in this middle area is I will do some type of glass ceiling so that I can look up into the sky. It's very scenic. So I'm all out of wooden planks and I've got just a small stack of slabs left, so I'm not going to be able to finish this in this episode, but it gives you a good idea of how to start a house and do a fairly interesting design. It's not the greatest thing you've ever seen, but it'll look pretty good once it's finished. I'm trying to find a good way down here without taking too much damage. But we'll build ourselves a nice little walkway down the mountain from this spot here, so that if we go, say, out there to chop down some trees, we'll easily be able to get back here. And eventually we will start tunneling underground and collecting all the resources down there. But in the meantime, I'm going to wrap this up off camera. I'm going to get more sand to finish these glass windows. Going to get some cobblestone to finish my archway. Going to get glass for our nice scenic view on from our roof. And I probably will need one more row of wooden blocks inside of these wooden slabs here. And that'll give us a nice looking roof. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will see you later.